Coming up tonight, with an apparent increase in suicides and attempted suicides, the Social Services Minister was weighing in. We'll tell you the collaboration he believes will make a major difference. Plus, the Domestic Violence Unit officially opening its doors this week. Our Joshua Williams was there and tells us the impact the House of Refuge is expected to make within the community. And later, already racking up the hardware, Team Bahamas securing multiple medals on day one of the Carifta Championships. Our sports presented by 10YX gives us the recap of the day's session. These stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. In recent times, we've seen issues such as suicide, murder, and violence against women and children gripping headlines. While at a special church service at Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church, Minister of Social Services Miles LaRota telling our news team that when it comes to such issues, it is vital for the church and state to work together. LaRota sharing that he's speaking from a personal experience, particularly after losing his son. Now, speaking specifically to the rise in suicide and attempted suicides, he shares this message of hope.
Suicide is not foreign to us. It's not peculiar just to the Bahamas. But, you know, in times of struggle, in times of tribulation is also a time that we can go back to what made us great as a country a long time ago, and that was our foundation in Christ and believing that all things is possible through Him.
Senator Maxine Seymour also in attendance and weighing in. The vocal advocate reminding everyone of the importance of being your brother's or sister's keeper.
Churches are planted in various communities and they see families on a regular basis and they can see the signals that are concerning and then intervene. And so we need persons in churches to take their ministry beyond the four wall.
Well, the Seventh-day Adventist Church welcoming a first-time visitor to our shores, the executive leader getting the opportunity to go island hopping, carrying with him a message many would consider much needed during this time. Our Danielle Miller explains.
Dr. Ayrton Killer, Executive Secretary for the General Conference in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, making his rounds nationally. Representing the leadership of the church, he began his mission work in Grand Bahama. Now in the capital, Dr. Killer preached a sermon at Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church. He says this is his first time visiting the Bahamas and gleefully shares his experience so far.
And I'm enjoying the people, the food, the beaches, and the time that I'm spending with the Seventh-day Adventist Church as well.
And as jolly as his response, there was an equal measure of seriousness. With a message of unity leading the purpose of his travels, he says the church's mission is bigger than its congregants.
We as a church, we are a church that is founded in the Bible, and we have a clear message in the Bible of hope to share not only with our community, but with the entire country. We are facing very challenging times, and this message of hope can create a nice foundation for us to move forward and to face all the challenges that we are facing, not only in Bahamas, but in any other corner of this globe.
With more than 25,000 Seventh-day Adventist members in the Bahamas, Dr. Killer says they are guided by the Holy Spirit and plan to increase their numbers.
Our church is very focused on the mission and the mission of expanding the message of hope and opening the doors of our temples to welcome others that will come.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks so much, Danielle. Well, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force gathering for its annual church service over Grand Bahama over the weekend. It was a moment of worship and reflection as pastors prayed over the men and women of the force. Held at New Life Worship Center, the service brought officers and community members together under the theme of People's Force, guarding our heritage through godly excellence. Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Kingsley Smith, also in attendance. He says sites are being assessed in Grand Bahama and Abaco for the development of permanent bases to enhance operational readiness. The MP also thanking the force for its continued commitment to the Northern Bahamas.
This gathering serves not only as a spiritual milestone, but also as a natural extension of the church service recently held in New Providence. Together, they reflect a deliberate and strategic commitment to the ongoing decentralization efforts across our archipelago, an embodiment of unity in purpose and strength in outreach.
The service also celebrated the Defense Force's 45th anniversary.
I extend heartfelt congratulations to the Royal Bahamas Defense Force on 4.5 decades of steadfast growth and development. This milestone reflects the organization's resolute dedication to its noble motto, the pursuit of excellence in guarding our heritage. Moreover, its mission to defend, protect, and guard the national and territorial sovereignty and integrity of the Bahamas and its citizens.
While those suffering at the hands of domestic violence now have a place to call a safe haven. The Domestic Violence Unit officially opening its doors this week. Its goal to provide a place that not only protects the vulnerable in society, but also gives them the necessary tools to recover and heal from their traumatic experience. Our Joshua Williams tells us more.
And with that ribbon cutting, along with a spiritual blessing, the Domestic Violence Unit branch of the Royal Bahamas Police Force officially declared open. The center seeks to serve as a refuge for those suffering at the hands of abusers. A number of government officials, community leaders, and advocates present to witness the historic moment. Police Commissioner Shanton Knoll says the facility will serve as a place where compassion meets professionalism.
And where justice is not delayed, but is delivered with care, clarity, and conviction. This building is more than brick and mortar. It represents a new standard, a bold re-imaging of what it means to protect and serve survivors of domestic violence.
The center, something spouse of the Prime Minister Anne-Marie Davis has been pushing for a while, now a reality. And while domestic violence has been a major focus for Mrs. Davis, her husband, Prime Minister Philip Davis, says it's part of a commitment by police to respond to domestic violence differently.
This unit wasn't created for statistics or for press releases. It was created for that woman who was packed and unpacked her bag a dozen times, trying to find the right moment to leave. It was created for the child who flinches at raised voices because they've learnt what comes next.
The center will offer a dedicated interview and counseling space, an on-site victim support liaison trained in first aid and centralized case coordination. It will also be equipped with real-time database tracking and analyzing, allowing officers to identify trends and deploy resources where appropriate. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe says with the facility now open, they expect reported cases to climb, and while the facility is not meant for long-term use, its function is important.
This is very short-term housing. So if you have to get out now, you might be concerned if you have nowhere to go. This is not a shelter for long-term housing.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks so much, Josh. The push toward digitization continues for the Ministry of Legal Affairs as officials work to get more Bahamians comfortable with using their online registry platform, officially launched last year. The Corporate Administrative Registry Services, also known as CARS platform, allows users to handle key corporate filings and services without having to visit a government office in person. To help spread the word and provide hands-on training, officials hosted a session in Pelican Bay Resort recently, targeting attorneys, financial service providers, and anyone who interacts with corporate registry services.
It is the process of bringing all of our various systems together into one digital platform so that we can give more efficient services to the general public. We also have a public portal where individuals can also sign up and go on and manage their corporate entities.
Knoll says it's all part of the ministry's effort to make registry services more accessible and convenient.
You can incorporate your company, you can file an annual statement, pay your annual fee, file an annual declaration. You can even touch such services as change of name and amendments.
When our news weekend comes back from the break, two sitting PLP parliamentarians confirming their intentions to run again in the next general election. We'll tell you why they say they're confident in a second term. Those details right after this quick break.
Get ready to shop till you drop. The Vitamalt shopping spree is back, and you could be the next winner of a $500 shopping spree. Here's how to enter. Buy a 6-pack of ginger, acai, or coconut and hibiscus Vitamalt from any Super Value or 700 Wines and Spirits location. Snap a picture of your receipt and WhatsApp your name and photo of the receipt to 825-2191. This promotion ends Saturday, April 19th. Will you be the next lucky shopper? Vitamalt. Vitalize naturally.
Central and South Lutheran Member of Parliament Clay Sweding says he will be offering himself in the next general election, adding his record in the area speaks for itself. Sweding is a first-time MP who served as a PLP senator under the former Minnis administration. Since taking office, he was appointed to the Davis-led cabinet as Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs. In a cabinet shuffle, he was moved to the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs. Sweding says every community has felt its impact.
Of course, I'm offering myself, and I think that when you look at the record in Central and South Lutheran alone, today speaks to that. You have a amount of foreign direct investment in Central and South Lutheran. When you look at each community, the capital works, the way that this island is transformed after 30 to 40 years of economic depression speaks to not just my record, but the record of the Progressive Liberal Party.
And despite those efforts under his belt, Sweding says there is still much more work to be done in the area. He recounted some of the government's accomplishments.
We got a lot of work to do, but we're happy to see that we have the multifunctional healthcare facility coming out the ground, 163 miles of roads being paved, brand new airport at Governor's Harbor, a brand new dock in Tarpon Bay, a brand new dock in James Distant, BTVI in Greencastle. So when you look at every community, it's been touched during my tenure as Member of Parliament.
Well, as the political season heats up and anticipation builds over who will throw their hat in the ring for the next general election, one familiar face is expected to return on the Progressive Liberal Party's ticket as well. That's Central and South Andros MP Leon Lundy.
Definitely you'll see me on the ticket and you'll see a great victory for the constituency of Central Andros, South Andros and Mangrove Key for the PLP party. We are on the path to progress, and that's what it is. That's what I decided from the beginning, to get Andros progressing, and we're moving in that direction, and now we'll keep it progressing.
Lundy, who was first elected in 2021, has been a vocal advocate for development in the Family Islands, pushing for improved infrastructure, education, and healthcare services in his constituency. While he acknowledges there's still more work to be done, he says he's pleased with the progress made thus far.
We set up BAMSI to help a lot of the farmers down there. We did a lot of educational stuff for the youths. We're trying to definitely the infrastructure with the road work, with the water works that's going to be ongoing in Mangrove Key and South Andros. The road works, particularly in Central Andros, that was done. We moved it from sand seal to asphalt, and now we're looking at a lot of works for the airports and for the seawalls. So definitely there's a lot of infrastructural work that we needed to do to set the foundation.
Meantime, the Department of Immigration apprehending some 117 foreign nationals so far for the month. In a statement, officials noted that between April 1st and 13th, operations were conducted by the Enforcement Unit and the Maritime Revenue Task Force across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco. The operations resulted in the apprehension of 108 Haitian nationals, 2 Jamaican nationals, 2 Turkish nationals, and 1 national each from Canada, the Dominican Republic, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, and Zambia. The enforcement unit operations led to the arrest of individuals for various immigration-related offenses, including illegal landing, overstaying, engaging in gainful occupation without authorization, attempting to mislead an immigration officer, transfer and unlawful use of a forged document. Immigration officers attached to the task force apprehended individuals involved in similar violations in the Abaco Keys, and a total of $23,600 in immigration revenue was collected during this operation. All individuals were transported to the Carmichael Road Detention Center for further processing and investigation. They have since appeared in the magistrate's court.
Coming up in sports, the opening session of Carifta usually means the field events take center stage, and boy did they ever. Over at Carifta Aquatics, the defending champs are already making waves on day one. Well, everyone's making waves, but they're swimming really, really fast.
Get ready to shop till you drop. The Vitamalt shopping spree is back, and you could be the next winner of a $500 shopping spree. Here's how to enter. Buy a 6-pack of ginger, acai, or coconut and hibiscus Vitamalt from any Super Value or 700 Wines and Spirits location. Snap a picture of your receipt and WhatsApp your name and photo of the receipt to 825-2191. This promotion ends Saturday, April 19th. Will you be the next lucky shopper? Vitamalt. Vitalize naturally.
Welcome to All Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. The javelin throwers carried the flag for Team Bahamas straight to the medal podium on day one here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium at Carifta 52. The first pair of medals for Team Bahamas came in the under-17 boys javelin. Akil Williams finally had his Carifta moment and produced a gold medal throw of 57.51 meters. Wyatt Cartwright won silver with his throw of 55.74 meters.
I feel excited. I just thank God for allowing me to bring the gold for the Bahamas. I feel good. I wanted to do better. I didn't hit my goal, but I just thank God.
Hours later, it was the training partners and future college teammates when they head to Nebraska that topped the podium for Team Bahamas. Tasha Stubbs returned as the gold medalist in the under-20 girls division. Last year in Grenada, she took gold at 49.92 meters, and this year in Trinidad, she won the event again with a throw of 50.03 meters.
Me and Ziara, we train together, so we've seen each other in the harder days, so we push each other up, down, everything. So it's a really great feeling to be out here and winning gold and silver with her.
Diore Scott's first year transitioning to the under-20 girls was seamless. She won the silver medal with her throw of 45.61 meters.
It feels amazing just to be here and even to make it on the podium, Once again, it wasn't the best season, wasn't the best start, but to be out here and to get on that podium, it's awesome.
In the under-17 girls high jump, Alexandra Komalafe took 4th at 1.68 meters, and Kiezra Thomas was 5th at 1.65 meters. It was a busy opening session for Thomas, who went on to the 400 meters and won Heat 1 to advance as the fastest qualifier in the field at 54.29 seconds.
I feel good. I just have to stay focused, stay rest up, and just go there and do what I know me and my coach have been working on. So I feel good.
The under-17 boys had a pair of qualifiers for Team Bahamas. Jonathan Higgs won Heat 2 in 48.80 seconds to go through as the fastest qualifier, and Egan Neely also advanced with a time of 49.12 seconds. In the under-20 boys, Zion Miller raced to the fastest qualifying time in the field at 46.64 seconds. However, Zion Shepard finished in 48.96 seconds and did not advance. It was disappointment for Alexis Roberts in the under-20 girls. Coming in as one of the top contenders in the field, she was hampered by a hamstring injury and was forced to shut things down about 200 meters into the race.
I came into this race with mental challenges and physical challenges. So the fact that I was even able to put myself on the track was a feat within itself, because all that I was going through, I never knew. But I'm just grateful that God allowed me to come up still in one piece.
In the 100s, 5 Bahamians advanced to the final, led by Shatalia Dorset, the 4th fastest qualifier in the under-20 girls at 11.45 seconds. In the under-17 girls, Breon Ward was the 3rd fastest qualifier at 11.75 seconds, and Teray Forbes booked the final spot at 12.08 seconds. In the under-17 boys, Jamal Deloche qualified at 10.79 seconds, and Cameron Henfield also qualified at 10.98. Henfield also competed in the first 2 events of the octathlon. In the under-17 girls shot put, it was Anae Smith 4th at 12.35 meters and Tarjane Green 7th at 11.26 meters. Over at Carifta Swimming, the chase for 7 in a row is officially underway after session 1 is in the books. Sasha Lightborn and the rest of the R News team is poolside at the National Aquatic Center in Cova and brings you this report.
A great morning session at the National Aquatic Center in Trinidad and Tobago for Team Bahamas. Leading off the pack and first in the pool was Cyan Isaacs in the 800-meter freestyle.
It felt really good to be the first person to do the first race, first 100. It felt pretty good. I felt pretty nice. And then like in the middle, I kind of got a little bit tired. My legs were kind of like tight. And then you just got to finish it to the end.
We also had great swims from Isabella Munro and David Singh.
It was a big challenge for me because I know that I have some competition trying to get on my back. And I know that not only our country is depending on us to get that 7P, but also I'm depending on myself and my fans depending on me. But it felt really good. My underwears were good. My dive was good. Everything was good.
Well, tonight in my 2 breaths, I'm going to improve faster pace in my stroke. Then for the 50 back, the same pace thing, and then maybe add on an extra underwater or so.
Assistant coach Khadija Culmer shares that Team Bahamas got off to an amazing start.
The kids came in their long distance races, those 800 and those 1500s. They really did some amazing things. They dropped some times, and then we went down to the shorter events, and man, let me tell you, you guys are in for a surprise at these finals tonight.
Now the evening session already got underway. That started at 6 p.m. Several races are included in the evening session, including the 200-meter breast, the 50-meter back, and several relays. Tomorrow morning session will begin at 9 a.m. Reporting from the National Aquatic Center in Trinidad and Tobago, for our news presented by 10th year seniors, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Of course, there's a lot more Carifta coverage to follow, so stay here with the 10YS team for the post-game show, and stay locked in to the R News Network for exclusive coverage of Carifta Athletics on Channel 212. Also, stay tuned to our social media platforms for every update from Carifta Swimming. Now, before we get out of here, it's John's birthday, so we have a lot more research and development to do before tomorrow night's session. Back to the studio.
All right, thanks so much, Ronaldo, and a very special happy birthday to the other half of the duo, John Mark Nutt. We hope you're enjoying. On the other side of this break, a young entrepreneur turning a tough loss into a lifelong legacy. We'll tell you how the now 20-year-old grew several businesses since starting her journey as a teenager. But first, meteorologist Ian McKinsey steps into the Weather Center with a look at your weekend temperatures. Stick with us.
Get ready to shop till you drop. The Vitamalt shopping spree is back, and you could be the next winner of a $500 shopping spree. Here's how to enter. Buy a 6-pack of ginger, acai, or coconut and hibiscus Vitamalt from any Super Value or 700 Wines and Spirits location. Snap a picture of your receipt and WhatsApp your name and photo of the receipt to 825-2191. This promotion ends Saturday, April 19th. Will you be the next lucky shopper? Vitamalt. Vitalize naturally.
Welcome back, and thanks for sticking with us. Well, we're sure you still have lots of plans to continue enjoying the holiday weekend. To help you prepare for any outdoor activity, here's meteorologist Ian McKinsey.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Holy Saturday forecast. Beautiful day across the country, continuing to be breezy throughout the remainder of this holiday weekend. On the outside at this time, we're under mostly clear skies with a temperature of 77. Winds are from the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Comfortable feels like temperature at 75. Across the remainder of the islands and nation's second city, Freeport, we have 76s continuing in Marsh Harbor, 77 in Alistown, Great Harbor Key, the capital, and in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, 78 in Nicholstown, Andros. Continuing those 78s in the Central Bahamas, we have Kemps Bay, Black Point, Georgetown, Deadman's Key, Port Nelson, Rum Key, 76 in Coburn Town, and 79 in Arthurstown, Cat Island. Southeast Bahamas, 78s dominating again, Duncantown, Delectable Bay, Auckland's, Colonel Hill, Abrahams Bay, Mayaguana, 79 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, and 80 in Matthewtown in Nagua. A look now at your satellite and radar imagery, where we have a broad area of high pressure dominating conditions coupled with a low pressure system well to the east of us. These two combinations are creating what we call a tight pressure gradient across us, and this is producing brisk winds. This should continue to develop some rough seas, not good for boating, not good for beaching. Not good for the holiday Monday. Boating forecast for all areas. Small craft advisory is in effect for you boaters. And again, we are not encouraging swimmers to enter the water, so remain on shore, profile on the beach. Winds northeast to east at 15 to 25, north seas 6 to 10 feet in those northeast to easterly swells. High tide at 1:23 a.m. tomorrow morning, low tide at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. In your extended forecast, high pressure dominating. That spells into gorgeous conditions throughout most of the week. However, there is high UV index, meaning stay out of the sun, direct sun, or use some type of protection. Highs only in the low 80s, with your lows getting down into the upper 60s, low 70s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Great advice. Thanks so much, Ian. Well, a young Bahamian entrepreneur is making waves in the custom, apparel, and beauty industries. Despite facing personal tragedy at an early age, her determination and tenacity are now paying off. Our Delvado Emmanuel sat down with 20-year-old Ashley Clark to hear how she turned loss into legacy. Here's her story.
I started entrepreneurship when I was 15. So I was still in high school trying to tackle doing homework and doing my business, but I also graduated a year early.
Meet Ashley Clark, the powerhouse behind not one but two growing businesses in the Bahamas. Asphalt, a custom apparel brand, and Ash Lash Bar, a beauty service catering to lash lovers. She specializes in a wide array of products, all from her home.
Yeah, I print on demand. I do t-shirt printing. I do bouquets, like, rose bouquets and glitter, all those stuff. My best seller per se would be my senior sets.
But behind Clark's drive lies a deeply personal motivation. Having lost her mom when she was just 11 years old, she uses that loss as fuel for her success.
Every morning at 11 a.m., that says do it for mom. She died when I was 11. So it's just going to be me, my dad, and my sister, really.
And with UF Tires now shaping the business landscape, Clark is already thinking ahead, sourcing supplies from China and preparing to meet new demands.
I'm trying to expand more into doing selling more stuff like lights, chairs, more supply needs for lashes because we don't have much supplies over here.
Her message to other young Bahamians: start now, but start smart.
Do something that you would know you would love to do from years to come on. But I'd also say do not burn out. So do not take on too much more than you can.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Inspiring story. Thanks so much, Delvado. Well, remember to be sure and stay locked to the Our TV network for exclusive coverage of the 52nd Carifta Games track and field. Morning sessions will continue at 9 a.m. on Sunday and Monday, with the afternoon sessions at 4 p.m. Sunday and Monday. And don't miss a stroke from the 38th Carifta Aquatics Championships. You can catch reports, highlights, and standout moments across all our news, television, and digital platforms. Stay with the team you already trust. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.